Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Hair Raiser Podcast.
Welcome to the show. In this episode, the Jackrabbit men and women both win 2 times over the weekend. And also, we'll take a look at the rest of the Summit League Conference. We just spent... You wonder why this was on Monday. We started on Sunday trying to get
Mark on, and then we had technical difficulties. We couldn't hear him again.
I've never seen such a problem. This was wild. I appreciate that the man really moves on to the next project quickly, really fast.
We said we were done, and then we realized an HDMI cord was hooked up, so we thought that might have been in the issue.
Called him back 45 seconds later.
Right.
No joke. This is not hyperbole. Legit. Yes. That he was gone.
He was gone. Had his laptop packed up. I mean, he must work for the CIA.
He said he packed up a table.
Yeah,
there's a table in 45
Apparently,
seconds.
I don't know.
Well,
that was wild.
I appreciate his commitment.
Right. I'm glad he comes on every week. I'm gonna have to figure it out this week as to what happened. Probably give everything kind of just a restart, and see what's going on.
Well, I was going to ask you both. Well, now we're starting to understand some of this. Did you know that today is called Blue Monday?
Oh, I thought it was Milk Day.
Oh, it's also National Cheese Lovers Day
and Inauguration Day.
Well, that's true, but that's more of a coincidence than anything. But so a company out of the UK called Sky Travel dubbed the third Monday in January each year as Blue Monday. Travel company claimed that this is the day each year when happiness levels goes their furthest south. So you feeling okay today?
Okay, I get it. Blue Monday. Yep. But the days are getting longer, so
so they actually have they have an equation.
Okay.
And this is really tough to read, but how should I say this? In the formula, W stands for weather, D stands for debt, a small d, so that was a capital D, sorry. Lowercase d stands for your monthly salary. T stands for time since Christmas.
What are we spelling?
The formula of how they came about the fact that
we're not spelling anything. It's just
no, it's a formula.
Okay.
You know, you've seen a formula before, right?
Yeah. Algebra was a long time ago.
Yeah, a lot of letters, not so many numbers.
Right.
But in their formula, it's so obviously the letters stand for
what numbers they need to put in there.
Correct. So T is time since Christmas. Q is for the time since you failed quitting something you attempted to quit.
So this all has to do with the dark weather, the happiness that Christmas brings, and then also I was going to lose weight and now I've given up on that plan.
Right. So that's part of the equation. And
okay.
M is for low motivational levels.
Because it's so dark out and cold. It's -10 today. How motivated can one get when it's that cold out?
I had an awesome day today. I was wildly motivated.
Oh, I went out and helped set up at the livestock show, so I too was wildly motivated.
See, absolutely. So you did not have a Blue Monday. So just Mark.
You're right. Well, I don't know if he had a Blue Monday. I think his Monday may have been fine. He just probably a little bit disappointed he didn't get on this podcast today.
It's not exactly clear how these different units are supposed to mesh with each other. Not scientific.
Oh.
I didn't know that. I did, but apparently that. So today's the day. This is
the day you're the bluest.
Well, this is the best. This is the best part. If this is the saddest you're going to be, I like your 2025. You had an awesome day.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Yeah. Huh. Okay. But you've heard that theory too, right? It's because it's dark outside and blah blah blah, that everybody has seasonal depression. So that's playing into it too.
Oh, wow. That's right.
Yeah.
Sack up. Oh, Oh, yeah. I shouldn't have said that because okay, so part of the hair razor mailbag, I'm not supposed to say mail sack.
Mail
So
sack.
actually that got the attention that I actually was looking for. So that worked.
So you were looking for the attention, like you knew when you said mail sack that it
Yep.
would maybe go down that road.
And it got a response. Also, Mark's not on, but there was other things that he was running a daycare again. So people
They can I can hear a child in the
they're
background. I get it.
not big fans of that.
Well,
And also, so now I'm back here at Hair Razor Studios.
yeah.
That was the third thing. We did have one
Person who
we had a listener said I should be back here. So now I'm here.
I was told the other day that if I do basically if I do not put something on Twitter, the podcast never happened. And I told them, I was like, well, you do know you can subscribe to the podcast. Yep, I'm not going to. I just need to be reminded on Twitter. It's like, okay,
fair enough.
Okay. So I will continue to put it. I think I forgot to put it on YouTube. So we're like 3 YouTube followers probably.
I know one.
Are disappointed. So I need to get back on YouTube.
If you don't put it on YouTube, then
they don't
that
listen.
follower will not.
Right. But they could go on Spotify because the video is on Spotify as well.
But I think they work the same way. If you don't tell me, it's not happening.
Okay. Boy, for all 20 listeners, we apparently
a lot of work,
right?
A lot of catering.
We have a lot of disappointed people.
You know what I'm not disappointed in? EBC beer from EBC Brewing and Brookings. Again, okay, it's not original because I stocked up on Get Your Jollies, which I think is excellent beer. But
this is from like November.
Yeah, that's
like 2 months old.
This is what tastes
still good.
Tastes very Decemberish.
Well, it's January.
I know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The Get Your Jollies will take
5.3%.
That will take us around the Summer League.
Yeah.
The Summer League's fun to watch now because it really gets spread out now because you have Wednesday night games periodically.
Occasionally a Wednesday night game.
And on the men's side, wow, Omaha is good. Omaha wins over Denver on Wednesday night, 80-62.
People enjoyed the boat race, though.
Oh, I don't even have to look. I don't even have to look at the poll. I bet that was 76% of your respondents probably said that they know what boat race is.
Right. I think it was like 82.
Okay.
On the poll.
I'm good at estimating.
What were the other response? There's some other responses too, though. What are your thoughts on TikTok going dark last night and coming back online? Oh,
that was sent to
Poppin said it to us. I've never been on TikTok. I don't really know what TikTok is. I'm a boomer, so I get all of my TikTok late.
Yeah, I agree. I do not have a TikTok account, nor do I have Instagram either.
Oh, you don't have? I do have the gram.
Okay. You call it the gram.
That's what the hip kids call it. 84%, 128 votes. We got more votes than we listeners. Good for us. We already had Seth Meyer. Who else? There was other. Oh, Jim Poppin says when the Jacks played Arkansas Pine Bluff in 2008, 190-6. That was what
that was
boat race means. Yep, and Jim is absolutely right. That and Doors Blown Off are two of my favorites. Yep,
Doors blown
off. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Right. So back onto the Summit League. Omaha is good.
No, what I'm saying, nobody had to even question that. Most of the world knows what a boat race is.
Other than apparently Mark and Peyton.
Yep. So there's those two and Jeff.
Well, Pito spends a lot of time in a semi. So he doesn't want to get boat raced by anything.
Yeah, Omaha won 80-62. Of course, and that's a good win because they went out to Denver. Omaha is just it's a very different team than last year. They're incredibly balanced. When you think about last year, everything was just give it to Fiddler and go.
Right.
And now when you look at their box scores, they got 4 guys. They got 4 guys in double digits because I mean everybody knows what JJ White and Markel Sutton can do, but you get like a Tony Osborne, Lance Waddles. I love that name too. Waddles is good.
Lance Waddle. Yeah, he had 11 points the other night against Denver. 3 for 6. Comes off the bench.
And that's what matters, though. That's that 11 points that they didn't do a year ago. A year ago, it was give it to Fiddler and see
let Frankie do his thing. And which kind of worked for him. I mean, Frankie Fiddler was a good basketball player, but
100%. Yep, I 100% agree. It's just it's a very different Omaha team that's very good.
Right. Yeah, they put up some points.
And that's the thing. So Omaha's sitting with St. Thomas at the top of the conference at 5-0. So Omaha's 5-0, St. Thomas is 5-0. We moved to Thursday. That one I did go to. We're gonna get to the Spike game, which it's delightful.
And that's what you want to call it.
Hey, it was the Spike game.
Yeah.
SDSU boat raced, blowed the doors off of UND.
Whatever you want to call it.
109-73. Oh boy.
Other than like it was a fun game to watch, like because a lot of points, maybe it wasn't worth it to drive up.
It's always worth it.
That's true.
UND is okay. So I don't think anybody that watches Summit League basketball would probably disagree. UND is just not very good defensively. They're just not.
No.
They're not a bad team. And Coach Sather is a great coach.
Very good coach.
He's a great. They're not good defensively, and it showed. It showed Thursday night. 109 points were the second most against the SDSU is 109. Were the second most against the Division I opponent during SDSU's Division I era.
In UND's defense, they did slow us down in the second half.
Well, they did. Yeah, they got punched.
I mean, we still scored 50 points in the second half, but we scored 59 in the first half. That was like an NBA score watching that game.
It was. I mean, 109, you don't see that often in the Summit League.
What was the other time we scored like 119 against?
I don't know, but it was one other time. And write it down.
Right. I was trying to think of
because this was the second most they've ever scored.
Right.
So whatever it was before, I don't have that level of research. We don't pay interns for this operation.
You keep looking, I'll find it.
The Jacks were 42 of 64 for the field, so that's good shooting too.
Right. Well, Joe Saylor, I mean, once that dude started rolling, right? It was just over.
Yeah. So Joe Saylor had a career high 25
all in the first half. He didn't score a single point in the second half.
That is correct.
You're
100% right about that. He was 10 of 13 from the floor and 4 of 7 from the 3-point line. In the first half.
Yeah, he didn't. I didn't think he didn't even take a shot in the second half.
Isaac Lindsay had 13, Kalen Gary 12.
Savannah State in 2018.
That was it. That was the other one. All right.
Yep. I knew I had read that somewhere.
Oscar Clough 12 and Jackson had 11.
Yeah, there's not much to. You kind of feel bad for UND because, I mean, he is a good coach, but they just anytime anybody gets good, they leave, right?
But they got boat raced. They had the doors blown off.
I assume you probably feel like you need a little bit more out of Eagle staff, but because like he's their best player, right?
Well, yeah, that's what they have. They just don't have the pieces. I mean, we're going to talk about Oral Roberts, but UND just doesn't have the pieces to put it together. They're just
No, they're just not going to be good.
It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And Oral Roberts, wow. So they lose to USD on Thursday night, 92-82.
Right. And not a good USD team.
It's not a good team. I want to point out the fact that on Saturday, USD lost to NDSU 103-70
by NDSU.
And you know why that is? Because USD plays this odd defense. It's been described as if you had. So we're watching the national championship football game.
Yeah,
right?
we have that on. Yep.
Right. The comparison to USD's defense is if you would have your corners all play man to man, and then you're going to have the safeties blitz every time.
Oh, so they're just looking and going for steals.
Right. They're just pressure. And then this is why they give up so many points.
So
I mean, they gave up 82 to Oral Roberts and they gave up
119 to St. Thomas.
Right.
Right.
But this is is why that is. They play this weird, and he runs 9-10 guys out there. Would fine, that can work. But
so he's trying to do the Arkansas back in the day of like, what is it, 60 minutes of hell or whatever?
Yeah.
Like the Nolan Richardson?
no, yeah, sure.
Right.
Yep.
We're
back
we're
when
just
he
gonna
had that.
press, we're gonna get up and down. Like if we don't stop you, fine, we're gonna go and score points ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I think
it doesn't
right.
seem to really be working for him.
No, it's not. I don't know why.
Maybe take a different.
I don't know why they don't
approach.
change, but you can see it, and that's
right.
That's what they do.
Right.
Whatever. I don't know how good or bad USD actually is because they give up so many points.
They're obviously can score, but they can't play any defense, which means there's going to be more possessions, which is why they score more points. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at it. So NDSU puts up 103 on Saturday. Right. NDSU beats Kansas City 71-64 in what would have been more of a rock fight. So, I mean, there's clearly a defensive type of
on
Thursday.
Yes.
On Thursday, NDSU won. Yeah, right, I'm jumping back and forth, but it's kind of those things you kind of watch over the week. NDSU 71-64, but Kansas City, yeah. Well, I mean, all right, so that's a little bit more Summit League type basketball.
And NDSU won that game at home against UMKC.
They did.
That was the big thing. But they had to go down to USD then.
Yes.
On the next day.
Yep. That was an away game.
Yep. Which is odd that they played a home game and then an away game.
You can't keep track of everything quite as well as we could. And I know how people hate the mirror scheduling and everything, but now you really can't because you got Wednesday games in there too.
Right.
And
right. I have youth group, Eric.
Different opponents.
Yeah. I have to teach the youth. Well, that's why it was weird because we were up in Huron and saw Richmond and another NDSU coach up in Huron.
Oh, recruiting?
Yeah, watching the Elwine kid from Huron. And it was like, wait, did you guys just drive down here from NDSU? And then I realized the next day, oh, well, they were coming down this direction anyways. And so they swung over and stopped at that game.
That's a lot of work. If you're a coach,
college coaching would be terrible. It would be absolutely terrible.
I saw a picture of your brother coaching some basketball.
Oh, Wade?
Yeah. He's coaching the youth.
I think he is coaching the youth. I think Brody is a 5th grader, so he must be coaching 5th grade, whatever little kid basketball.
It's Wade.
He looked like legit coach.
Straight up man to man.
Right.
Pressure the ball.
Pressure 90 feet or whatever. Baseline to baseline. Get in their faces. We got 10 of you. That means we got 40 fouls. Get on it. I don't know what his style of coaching is.
Well, I appreciate anybody that goes coaches any level, but particularly when you start getting in younger kids, it's
not easy because you have to teach them how to dribble.
It is not easy. And they need to play, and you need coaches. So
just like you need refs.
Good for him. Good for Wade.
Yeah.
What else? So Thursday. Yeah, NDSU. I covered all those games. Saturday we go UND gets back. So then they beat Kansas City 76-72. We already talked about NDSU. SDSU wins over Oral Roberts. Oral Roberts, they seem to have the pieces together, but it's not what Oral Roberts used to be either. SDSU won that 84-70. St. Thomas.
We're on Saturday night?
Yeah, I moved to Saturdays. The Spike game. How was that? You saw them both.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the women.
I saw most of the women's game.
Okay.
Got up there. I thought it started at 2:30. So got there a little bit late. It was okay. Frost Arena is cool. First Bank and Trust Arena is cool.
You probably can't say that.
Oh, I can. I mean, that's what it's called. Yeah. I was thinking, though, the other day, I was watching Kentucky play, and they have Rupp Arena at whatever bank court.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, well, they could have done that. They could have still called it Frost Arena at First Bank and Trust Court. But isn't the court named after Aaron Johnson now, too?
I don't think that's a thing, but
Oh, I thought it was.
I don't think we named the court anything.
Oh, well, they could
I
have
like
done
the
that.
idea.
Frost Arena at First Bank and Trust Court.
But
I do like that.
But when you think about the coaches that have been there the longest and had the most success, that's one towards the top.
AJ would probably, if you're going to name the court after somebody,
Aaron
it's
Johnston
Aaron
Court.
Johnson Court, right?
I'm not opposed to that.
Or Frost Arena on First Bank and Trust Court.
Yeah.
Their name is on the court already now. I'll see what we can do.
I don't know. I don't know what the contract said.
Anyways, right. It's really it is really nice. Sam and I both spilled a drink though. Like the seats are a little bit tight, I thought.
They made them bigger.
Well, still pretty tight on my big hips.
Oh.
But the armrests come up, so that's nice. But when you stand up, if there's a drink in there, they accidentally hit it and the drink goes flying.
I've never had this issue.
No. Sam and I both did. I thought maybe.
I think these seats are super comfortable.
They're nice seats.
Yeah.
But
I did notice, because it's terrible podcasting, but I mean,
it doesn't matter.
I did notice in the armrest, some of that plastic can be uneven. And then the drink doesn't sit in there quite right.
Good thing they give you a can.
I did, right.
No, they poured on a cup.
No.
Isn't can. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Sam didn't have a beer. So
no, Sam had I got in the club.
Oh,
the club is.
You were your center court. Nice. Even more spite.
Yeah, were you there? And Klein John's dad took your seat.
I was not there. No, the Burgesses took the seat.
Oh, well, who's to Klein John's left then?
I don't know. We should know those folks, but I don't know.
An older guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. He's got 4 seats down there. Easily 4.
Yes, you guys have nice seats.
Yep.
The seats I sat in are very nice. The bank ones right at center court. Not on the floor, but yeah, the club, you still have to pay for your beers in the club.
What?
Sam, you get some trail mix and that's about it.
Oh,
free pop.
You mean it's not like Club
no,
71?
Up in the suites, I heard like you get everything, but like in that club, like you don't get free drinks. There's a less of a line.
Really glad I didn't buy those seats.
And I think you can order food down to your seat and somebody will bring it to you.
Because in the club and in the football stadium,
right, you get free beer.
Yeah.
In Frost Arena, that is not a thing.
Huh. Not that that's an end all be all, but anything.
Right. It caught me a little off guard.
Yeah. Like, somebody's gonna look at me.
So, but that's where I was questioning. Like, I don't know what those seats cost. Right.
They're $1,000.
Right. And so it's, well, what am I getting other than just a better spot?
You're not even getting a free beer.
No, you get free pop.
No, they are. Those are basically $1,000. And then when you go in, like where mine are, it's half of that. It's more like $560.
Then I don't know if there's truly that much value in those seats.
Well, that is solid information. I did not.
Right.
I just thought it would operate just like the football
there's
stadium.
a dude. Yeah, I thought just a dude open up a can. Here you go.
You wanted money?
Oh, I need to pay for these? Okay. Now I'm just like everybody else. I'm not special anymore. Thought I was special going to the club.
Yeah, I would have thought the same thing.
Right. I mean, I'm not trying to be ungrateful, but I don't know. Like, it's pretty expensive trail mix up there then.
Particularly when you do have to pay quite a bit more for those seats. So,
right.
Well, that is interesting.
And right. And the club area is okay, but it's not, I don't know. It's fine.
Well, that's fine.
I don't think, I just didn't think it had the same panache as
the football. Club 71.
Yeah.
Well, I did not know that.
But yeah, I was there.
Well, Oscar Clough at 21 while you were there. Joe Saylor at 17. Kalen Gary 11. Matt Moore's 11.
I think
Owen Larson, who has the best hair on the basketball team.
Dude, that is just a fro. It's just a mop of hair, isn't it?
I didn't know anybody from Iowa had a fro like that.
But he's had that since like AAU days because he would come to Sioux Falls to fly because he played for Martin Brothers, right? He played for Martin Brothers. He played for Martin Brothers out of Cedar Falls or whatever, or Cedar Rapids. But he was from Spirit Lake, and so he'd come to Sioux Falls to fly out, and so we saw him plenty, and he's had that mop of hair ever since we've seen him. I mean, it is a big old fro.
It really is.
And he's a good basketball player. What the other big thing though that you forgot? Yes, Clough had 22 points or 21 points.
Well,
he also had 20
doubled again.
rebounds.
Yeah,
Not only doubled, but 20 and 20.
yeah, he set a record with, I think, with those rebounds, didn't he?
No, because Mike Dom has done that.
Okay.
Apparently, Mike Dom had done that 3 times because that's what we questioned. Like, has anybody else done that? And I talked to Alex in church on. So if I ever need information, Alex is one of the guys I go to.
He's like, be on the podcast. Does his computer work?
We could ask him to be on the pod, and then it probably won't work, and he would get frustrated and pack up his stuff. So he said that Dom, I think, had done it 2 or 3 times, and he had heard on the radio.
Oscar Clough is basically a double every time he goes out in the court for the most part.
Well, he should.
And we'll see. I mean, people are going to adjust to. People are going to adjust to him next week.
But our whole starting lineup was in double digits.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I mean, that's a solid game. Now at halftime, we were at 41 points. It was like, this isn't going great. But
well, and it's also SDSU probably got the 2 rough other thing going to Denver, the 2 rough road games out of the way. You went to Omaha and you went to St. Thomas. You lost, all right, and now we just fix it.
Right.
Those are tough. Those are really, and now they're out of the way. Now you move on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because now they're on the road to Kansas City on Thursday.
That's gonna be a tough game.
And then they're home against just South Dakota on Saturday. That'll be fun. I'll be there.
I have gymnastics. I'm not in gymnastics, but
it's just one spike game, which is fair.
If I can get to a game a year, that's kind of my goal.
That was solid. You almost went to as many basketball games as football games.
I did make 2. Well, most of 2.
Omaha 5-0, St. Thomas 5-0, NDSU 4-2, SDSU 3-2, Denver 0-6. Unfortunately, the women of Denver are also 0-6. I think Denver's more into gymnastics than they are basketball.
Oh, I have no idea.
The Kansas City women win 73-66 on Wednesday. UND women, who are actually, and yes, they went to SDSU on Saturday and lost, but UND is not that bad. They beat USD 80-54. I'm sure that was fun to watch. UND just led wire to wire against USD. There were no lead changes, 1 tie. So they boat raced them.
So USD has Grace Larkin and Grace Larkin.
Yes.
Okay, so this game against UND, Grace Larkin, 14 points, led the team, 13 rebounds, led the team, 6 assists, led the team.
Well,
played 38 minutes.
But that's the thing. Grace Larkin's, when they beat St. Thomas and Omaha, she averaged 39.5.
Right.
And then when on the UND game, what did she have? 14.
Right.
If Grace Larkins isn't going to carry you, then they have nothing.
Right.
The way it looks right now.
Yeah, and she had a rough, 5 for 17. That's
she had amazing week against bad teams, St. Thomas and Omaha, and then you ran into UND, who is actually
good,
decent. Yes, they are. SDSU leads the conference at 5-0. SDSU knocked off UND 87-73. That one started out a little tight, and then SDSU does what SDSU does. And
what did AJ have to say? Oh, I forgot to tell you.
Well, it also I
got a bid on the hog.
Well, you bid?
Yeah.
You had a paddle?
Yeah.
You were out there?
Yes.
Oh, we need to watch this
That's
video.
fine, John.
I believe you.
Yeah.
That'd be a dumb thing to make up.
You said they're not going to run that hog out there this year. Not on the
hog came out?
They pulled it out on a Kubota.
On the First Bank and Trust Arena.
First Bank and Trust Arena court.
No, I got that wrong then.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ryan Christie in the back said to a guy, must be the new guy who replaced the Christensen. He's like, but you never seen this before. And he's like, they're actually bringing a pig out here. He's like, yes, they are.
But yeah, that's always been the thing.
Right. We are the only school that does that. So we got out there, I did a couple bids. A&J Feeds or AJ Feeds or somebody bought the first one, and then Dana bought the second one. So
Yeah,
I raised JR Feeds. Maybe that's what it is.
Feeds,
JR Feeds. Yep. So very quick.
Well, it's nice of you to get a bid out there.
Yeah, I got a few.
Do you have the paddle?
I gave the paddle to one of our commercial lenders' sons. Should have probably kept it. But
Cheapers. Well, no wonder you were at Spike Game.
I didn't know
you were gonna bid on the hawk.
I didn't know that was going to happen until like in between the men's and women's game, because Matt was like, "Do you just want to go out there and do it? Everybody knows who you are, as opposed to me, and you're an egg." And I said, "If you don't want to, I will." So
your boss was busy.
I don't know what is going on. Must have been, I guess.
Yep.
So
I've seen him bid. So, well, wow. Now I really feel like that's not
you did miss out.
Jeepers.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, bid on the hog. Was that the game?
But you won't be there Saturday for just USD.
I don't have tickets, so I don't see that happening.
Oh.
We have gymnastics in Lincoln. It's probably going to take most of the day, and then we have to move things.
Lincoln the high school or Lincoln the town?
Lincoln the high school.
Okay.
So if it were to get over, are there even tickets available?
I'm sure. Game's at 5.
Yeah, I did see that. That might be tight.
Well, SDSU. Oh, so the women actually that
was a fun game. Back to that game.
That got a little bit tight towards the end. They narrowed it to 5 points with less than 5 minutes to go. I was looking at my phone, going, "Oh dear."
AJ said when we were down there after the game, he's like, and he said it in his press conference too. He's like, sometimes we played really good defense. Sometimes we played, defense optional.
Well, you got to understand it. I mean, nobody's going to like anything. Nobody's going to like me saying this, but so you've won 52 conference games in a row.
Right. Like
at some point, something's going to happen.
Right. But that team,
but maybe
like UND had some size, right? A decent basketball team or pretty good basketball team, but they just didn't have an answer for Brooklyn Meyer. And Paige Meyer said, well, Brooklyn, let's just bring us to the promised land. But I saw Brooklyn after the game, and she was wore out.
It's a battle down on the block every time. She goes for 30 that night or afternoon.
Yeah, she had a big game.
Maddie Mathewitz goes for 14, Haley Timmer 12, and then Paige Meyer 11. It did. I mean, they're not going to just let her get the ball. No, they're going to push her off the block. And
I mean, those kids get paid too.
Yep.
So.
NDSU loses their first one of the year on the women's side
to UMKC.
Yep. Lost down in Kansas City 56-51. I don't know, but that's their first loss of the year. NDSU goes to 4-1 in the conference. Denver loses at home to ORU. Well, again, a close game, which I think ORU is a far better team than Denver women, but 79-72. And then St. Thomas wins over Omaha 67-53. So when we look at the standings on the women's side, SDSU obviously 5-0, NDSU 4-1, Oral Roberts 4-2, USD 3-2, and all the way down to Denver 0-6.
Does it? I mean, at the end of the day, I think we got for the women, right? We've taken everybody's best punch, and we're still playing.
Well, it's going to be interesting. I'm interested to find out just how good NDSU might be. NDSU was up 47-35 after 3 quarters with Kansas City.
Right.
And then Kansas City outscored NDSU 21-4 in the 4th quarter.
Right.
They about dropped that one. I mean, they did drop that one. Excuse me.
Right.
That's how they got. They had the game,
and
you get outscored in a quarter 21-4.
Right. That's
NDSU.
That's rough.
NDSU outshot them, out rebounded them, but NDSU had 25 turnovers that led to 23 points.
It's a tough way to end a game.
Well, it's Kansas City had 14 turnovers that led to just 4 points.
Right.
It's tough.
You got to score on those turnovers.
It's tough to go on the road in conference.
Right. And that's men's and women's.
Well, yeah.
Right.
The whole Summit League.
So I was just looking. The game on Saturday is sold out. No tickets available. So
Well, you need to get on the Jackrabbit Ticket Exchange on Facebook. I bet there's.
Oh, that's the thing.
Yep.
Oh.
And Seat
Geek.
That's tough to say. Like
Syrup.
I bet you can find a ticket if you want.
Well, we'll have to try. Oh, SeatGeek. Let's see what they are at SeatGeek.
One place you'll always have a ticket is at Lincoln basketball. Sam had a great day. 20 some points.
Up in Huron?
Yeah.
Yep, like 22 points.
22.
A few rebounds.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, he played a good game.
Lincoln
still undefeated.
Undefeated.
Should probably be.
We're into Lincoln Corner now.
Right, we have moved on to Lincoln Corner. Yeah. Should probably be getting all the votes for the polls or whatever. Yep. Mitchell got one after they lost to Harrisburg, and I assume that was coming from who votes. Do you know who the voters are from those polls?
I don't know. I'm sure.
So that must have been somebody from the Mitchell Republic who said, "No, we're still good. I'm voting us number one."
I'd only be guessing. I would think that Zimmer votes. Ryan Deal, out of the Mitchell Republic. I'm sure he votes.
Yeah, he gave Sam a shout out the other day.
Yeah, Ryan Deal does a good job.
Right, especially
that's a good follow on Twitter,
and especially in the out of Sioux Falls. Like if you want to know what's going on with a lot of the B, for sure the B schools, ESD, A schools that aren't A schools that really aren't Sioux Falls Christian.
Yep.
Right, and that's fair because like inside of Sioux Falls, you have Sioux Falls Live and you have the Argus. I mean, those guys are gonna not venture out too far away when they have both.
Have you noticed? I noticed that it seems like there's some nights that everybody just takes the night off. Like Saturday afternoon, I didn't see anything about scores on Sunday.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, there's nothing. Yeah.
But there was a lot of basketball games. On
right. But then there's other times where like even on a Friday or Tuesday night, like it's like, is there any information here?
Well, you gotta get South Dakota scores on your phone.
Yeah, we have SD score feed. Yep, I keep my eye on it. Yep. They got so in the power rankings or power points, Brandon Valley is number 2, I think. They only have one loss. Oh no. The updated power rankings. Harrisburg has moved up to 2 with a 6-2 record. Brandon Valley is 7-1. And then so we are in first with 45.125. And then Harrisburg is in second with 43.857. So what does that mean? Is that a decent sized lead? Like I just can't tell. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
But is the power rankings? Wait, is that the same as the points for SDHSA?
I think that's it. I think that's what they're pulling.
Okay, well, got it. All right,
that's what I was wondering. So right now, Mitchell Spearfish in that big 8-9 battle, that would, like you want to be in the top 8, right? So that way you can get that home game. And we'd be playing.
So, seed points. Seed points is the term I was looking for.
Right. We would be playing Rapid City Central right now. Not quite midway through the season. 8-0. So we have some big games coming up. OG this Friday. O'Gorman's a good basketball team. They can score some points. They had a first game, lost to Brandon Valley by 5, and then kind of got boat raced by Sioux Falls Christian, right? So that for them, an A school, that's a tough loss, right? Because they're an A school, probably the best team in the state. But other than that, they beat T by 2. They got Brookings by 10. They probably should have beat Brookings by more. They've played some close games, did blow out Yankton, but they got to play Aberdeen Central at home and then on Tuesday and then us on Friday. So big week for the O'Gorman Knights to take on the number 1 ranked team.
Yeah.
And Sioux Falls Christian keeps rolling in that lower division. Big game in B, though, I think this week with Castlewood and St. Mary's. It's 1 versus 2. So they're both undefeated.
Where's that at?
That is at St. Mary's on Tuesday night.
That's a big Tuesday night game.
That is a big Tuesday night game. And Castlewood is good. They just beat, I think they just beat West Central.
And you got a big Friday night game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun week. We have a big week next week. Actually, we got 3 games next week. We play Washington. Hold on. We play Washington, T, and
Tuesday, Friday, Saturday.
yeah. So we play
Ooh.
Tuesday against Washington. Friday we play Mitchell, and then Saturday night we have to go play T.
That's tough.
Right.
There were some games tonight though too, which
there?
You make kids play on a Monday night,
especially when they probably a lot of them don't have school.
Oh, that
no, yeah, there were some A games tonight.
Yeah,
Dells is beating Parker right now. West Central boat race Baltic, and no scores.
Makes sense.
Yeah. That was more than just Lincoln Corner. That was your high school basketball roundup.
Now West Central beat Dakota Valley.
Yeah, West Central is good. They got the big little Bill Cool. He plays on the Pentagon team. 6'8", 6'9". He's a good player. Been playing really well this year. And then they got a Mebius kid, little point guard. He's only a sophomore. Really good basketball player, can put the ball in the hoop. So yeah, I think they're much improved. And the region they're in, like we've talked about before, I think they have a real shot at the state tournament.
Yeah, because Sioux Falls Christian moved down to 4A. They're in 3A.
Right. So they are well ahead of. Yeah, they have Del Rapids isn't good. Flandreau, Madison, Baltic, Tri-Valley, Garrettson. Like they should come out of there.
They should come out of there in the round of 16.
Right. Yeah, they for sure should make the SODAC 16. And I assume they have to play all those teams. Like they got Lennox, but then they got Parker, Flandreau, Tri-Valley, T. T will be a tough game. Madison, Canton, Chamberlain, and Elk Point Jefferson.
Lennox will be tough too.
So they may have 2 more losses. So they're going to be Lennox 16-4. That's a pretty good record.
Lennox is scrappy.
Yeah, Lennox has got a very good basketball team. Yep. They got the Gertis kid who's good, and then they got the quarterback. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. He's also just a good basketball player. So one would assume Lennox will be there at the end. But again, Lennox's problem is they're in that stupid tough region, right?
Because now they live in a world where they have Sioux Falls Christian themselves, and then
Dakota Valley and Vermilion.
Dakota
Valley, I don't think is quite what they used to be.
And this year, neither is Vermilion.
Right.
But
it's still hard. You still got to win. You got to win those 2 games. Right. So just to make the SODAC 16, and then where do you go and play after that? So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Nearing the halfway point. Seems like it's gone pretty fast, but before you know it, we're going to be out in Rapid. Hopefully.
Well, you know who's not going to win anything is Mark at 3 headlines on the line.
I know. I feel bad.
He's not here.
I don't know.
Does this count as Mark. A loss?
Yeah, I think so. A DMP did not play.
did not quite. Are we ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Yep. Fantastic. Here we go. 3 headlines on a lie. Number 1, Jason Alexander talks about having a friend who is allergic to everything.
Jason Alexander from Seinfeld.
Yep.
Okay.
George.
Yeah.
Haley Williams' grandfather recorded his debut album 50 years ago. Now it's finally coming out.
Okay, I can kind of believe that. I don't know who Haley Williams is, but
number 3, the app that blocks social media until you get up and work.
I do kind of believe that. You can set Instagram to stop, like give you a notification where it's like, okay, you're done.
You mean like the Apple phone was like, you should have stood.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And number 4, can you read cursive? It's a superpower the National Archives is looking for.
That I do believe. I'm going to go with number 2.
Number 2, Haley Williams.
Yeah.
So you're
mostly because I don't know who
Haley Williams' grandfather.
Do you know how hard it is to read cursive? Like we can do it, but like I get some letters once in a while. It's in cursive, and it's like, ooh, I don't know what you're saying there.
I do have some comments on that.
Okay,
but I will tell you got it wrong again this year. This
I got it wrong this week.
You got it wrong this week.
Was it the first one?
Yeah, Jason Alexander was the lie.
Hey, remember, it's not a lie if you believe it.
It's perfect,
right?
So, the cursive thing actually. So the National Archives wants people that are able to like read cursive for all these old manuscripts and blah 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 blah. But So I was doing some digging. 24 states actually have some type of requirement for cursive in high school. I didn't even know that. I didn't know people use paper anymore.
Right. Because that's the only way you learn cursive is to write it.
Correct.
Right. Sometimes I wonder how these kids learn how to sign their names because they've never had to learn cursive in order to know the letters.
And I know, I mean, I have my version of cursive.
Right, but you grew up writing cursive.
You remember those sheets of paper with the little dotted line through the middle and then
the dots with how you're supposed to do the cursive.
Exactly.
And then you followed it. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Well, you are correct because Iowa still has actually a requirement for cursive. South Dakota does not.
Nope. I know. I've got 3 kids through the school system.
Just type everything.
Yep.
And Ohio State's doing what we thought Ohio State would do. But
I kind of thought Notre Dame might keep it close.
Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Maryland, Delaware, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Arkansas, Tennessee, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Texas.
So everybody in the South.
California, Arizona, and then Maine and New Hampshire. These are your cursive states.
Okay.
So it doesn't come up this direction that much. So North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, no.
We were probably the last ones to adopt it here in South Dakota, and then we're like, nobody wants it anyway, so whatever.
When you think about West, other than California, Arizona, Iowa is the farthest west that still has requirement in high school for cursive, because
we believe it's important in Iowa.
I don't think you're wrong either. Huh?
I don't think I'm right though. Like, how often do you use cursive?
Well, I write myself notes
in cursive.
Yeah.
Really? Oh.
It's like the Saturday Night Live thing. Looking in the mirror, you're a winner.
Yeah. Oh. In cursive, at least
you could do this,
right? And at least it's in cursive.
Oh, it is in cursive, not cursing. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I don't actually know that, but I'm glad you had the same writing that I did.
Yeah.
And with that, unless Mark's going to jump on,
I don't see that happening.
1 minute.
I think I angered him. I don't know. Maybe this little deal is going out. Who knows? I don't know.
Technology
is hard.
Technology ended Mark tonight.
I have a feeling Chad will send me a message and be like, you need to do X, Y, and Z. And I'll be like, yep, that's a good point. Thank you, Chad.
Clearly by me coming to the Hair Razor Studios is why.
Chad is a quasi producer for us as well. That's what I might do this week is I might send you a link and be like, try this, and just try it for next week Sunday.
Well, with that, if you want to try listening to us next week, we appreciate it. It's fun.
We do. Subscribe.
That's right.
That would be great because occasionally I forget to put it on Twitter, and then it just gives you a notification that a new podcast is out.
You get random facts about South Dakota State and a little bit of high school basketball. I thought we did a good segment of Lincoln Corner that extended out.
I thought it was pretty good.
It was. Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like we do a better job of following high school. Specifically, you do a better job of following high school basketball. You're more involved with high school basketball than what you were previously in football.
I pay attention a little bit.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So we probably won't have a whole lot of girls high school basketball, but
we can talk girls high school basketball.
Yeah, you can. You absolutely.
The music is playing, but
right.
I would say that if anybody's listened to like Jamie Parrish and his things that he had in Kelland, and the level of talent of South Dakota high school girls basketball is not as good.
It is down.
It's down.
They may have peaked last year with those 5 girls all going to SDSU, but it'll come back.
That'll be another conversation for the next podcast.
For another time. With that, go big.
Go blue.
Go Jacks.